Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, you're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio.
This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And we're here today. We're going to talk about marketing, sales, and sales, that part of that three-legged stool of marketing. Advertising, sales, we have customer service. And so customer service, of course, retains the customers. Sales, it converts them after you do a good job of advertising. So today we're going to talk about sales. Many companies make a mistake of assuming that the customers are looking for a particular service. They're actually looking for a problem to be solved, pain to be reduced, needs to be met. They come to Gatewood Marketing because they want more customers, they want more sales. If they can get that through a green cow, doesn't matter. They want the problem solved. They want the needs to be met. So we have to kind of move some of the emphasis about our company names, how many buildings we have, how many new vehicles we have. Are you solving the customer's problems? So we're going to talk about that today. So we're talking about less selling and more problem solving. Quick item in the news. Yeah, this caught my attention because I think it applies to just about everybody, particularly folks in business or anybody who has a little money. So there's two stories, two of our beloved actors, Malcolm Jamal Warner and Chadwick Boseman. Both of these young men passed away in the last couple of years. Well, Boseman a few years ago. Malcolm Jamal Warner, I think he's like a year or two ago. They left behind a legacy, but they also left behind something that we see far too often in our community. They left intestate, in other words, without a will. So you have the Boseman brothers trying to get the wife removed as the executor or the administrator of the estate, because they're saying when he left, when Chadwick left, he wanted half the money to go to his wife and the other half to go to his mom. Well, it's been almost 6 years and mom hadn't gotten a penny. So the brothers are saying, where's the money? So now they're trying to get her removed as the administrator so they can start getting some of his money. Then Malcolm Jamal Warner widow filed a law. Their family, his widow has filed a lawsuit claiming that it did not provide financial support for her and their young daughter. So these two issues, these two cases show that too many celebrities, too many people, period, are dying without a will. And you said, well, you might say to yourself, well, look, I don't have that much left. I don't have $1 billion in the bank, or $1 million, like Malcolm Jamal Warner and Chadwick Boseman. It doesn't matter how much you have. That old car you have, that old clinker, it doesn't matter until you die. Then everybody wants it. One family member may not have a car at all. They feel like they're entitled to it. Another family member is a car collector, antique collector. He's like, hey, that's a classic. I want it. Other family member might just say they sell it and spread the resources among the family. Well, you can make that clear if you had a will. It's amazing what people fight about after you're gone. So you're not just doing this for yourself. You're doing it for the family members to sort this out. So your will determines how your assets are divided. So whether you have $50,000 50 million. When you leave here, your will is about protecting the people that you leave behind. Okay, so just a little. I thought it was very interesting that this. You see this story too often. Prince, Jane Brown. The story just keep repeating itself. Some famous person dies and did not leave a will. We can do better, folks. There's estate planning attorneys out here. Matter of fact, I represent a few of them. You can go online and get that nowillfreewill.com. Just leave something, write it on a paper bag or something. Let people know how you want those assets divided up. All right, let's talk about our topic for today. So we're going back to school today. Every now and then we have to go back to the basics, to the foundations of marketing. So marketing is that overarching umbrella. It's the psychological, the planning, the strategic part of getting those customers, understanding your audience, the pain points, understanding that, your brand, strategy, your messaging. But then the rubber has to hit the road. You have to advertise to bring attention to your product. Then you have to sell to convert those prospects and leads that come into customers. Then, of course, customer service is retention. You need all three. Today, we're focusing on selling. And I'm going to start out by saying sell the pain, not the product. Let's put it this way. People don't really buy accounting services. They want relief from financial confusion. They don't buy marketing services. They want to grow their companies and their businesses. They don't buy insurance. They want peace of mind, security. So we're talking about today marketing's most important lesson. Don't just sell the product, sell the pain that it removes. So the first thing we're going to talk about, customers really want to buy relief. Relief from pain, relief from problems, relief from risk, fear, inconvenience. Think about your problem, think about your service, and how does it help people feel more relieved and relaxed, like the world is not going to cave in. That's what you're selling. And also remember that pain, because you want to relieve that pain, it creates a sense of urgency. And the sooner the customer realizes that there's a cost for inaction, if they don't take some kind of remedial action, some bad things might happen to them. Like if you don't buy car insurance, you go out and have an accident, you might lose somebody could sue you from here to who knows where. Or if I go out here and I don't get my company doesn't get marketing services, and all the competition starts to move ahead of me, and next thing you know, I'm out of business, I'm laying off workers, I'm closing down my office. So the sooner they recognize that there's a cost for inaction, the more likely they are to respond. So pain, or the likelihood that pain may happen, creates urgency, and you have to convey that in your messaging. So when you're trying to sell something, you lead with the problem, not the product. Ms. Smith, I understand you have a new business. You need sales to survive. Mr. Smith, I understand you've been in business now for 3 or 4 years. The economy has changed. We have AI. We have all kinds of challenges now. You need to be able to survive and pass, so you can pass along a successful company to your family, and not one that's struggling, about to go out of business. So you lead with the problem, and your company offers the solution. And you want to speak in the customer language. Don't come in with a bunch of technical jargon. Well, you need an AI agent that's going to be generative, and you don't know what that means. Can you make my life easier? Can I cut my payroll by using some type of technical services? Use words that customers use, not your industry talk. And once again, show the cost of inaction. Look, you say, look, I know you're spending more money than you need to. You're stressed. Your reputation's on the line. You're risking your health. You're missing out on opportunities. That makes people freeze. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on there, Gate. Tell me more. And show them the transformation of what would happen where they are and where they can be. Right now, your phones aren't ringing. I notice you're laying people off. We put together a nice strategy for you. Get those phones ringing again. People coming to your website. Now you can go ahead and bring that person back that just laid off. You start growing this company so you can have a legacy to leave behind. So paint that picture of what the transformation looks like. And this is interesting too. Your service is going to solve, there's going to be different pain points for different customers in your customer base. So if I'm a marketing guy, the pain point of somebody who's just starting a company may be different than somebody who's been out here for a while. Somebody who's just starting says, look, let me help you get your first customer. Oh, okay. Somebody who's been out here for a minute, you want to pass this legacy on, you want to be winding things down soon. You just want to make sure you're passing on a successful company. So the pain may be different for different segments of your target audience. And it's tempting to try to scare people to death, but sometimes that can be exploitive. You want to be empathetic, understanding, but not try to scare people to death. Because then people can see through that. That makes it sound less genuine. So don't try to scare. I mean, you might put a little bit of urgency in it, but you're here to provide a solution. Now, that solution, and they're not ready for it, that might scare them, but it's not because you're trying to scare them. You're just laying out the facts. That if you don't get insurance and something happens, you can lose everything you own. Okay? And of course, they don't want to just take your word for it. Proof. Testimonials. I just had somebody contact me the other day. They wanted some content. It's a big book distributor. And they want to say, look, we're trying to drive people on the website and the internet to our distribution center. They're trying to become the next Amazon. Well, I could have sat here and talked till I was blue in the face. And like, what have you done to prove this? So what I did, I sent them a piece of content, a video that I created. It generated 77,000 views, 5,000 likes, 1,500 shares, 1,600 new followers. They were like, wow. They didn't say, where do I sign? But that was a lot more powerful than my just talking. They want to see some proof. So you keep your list of testimonials. People that's really to attest that your service works. And put that on website, get those reviews, Google. Yep. So proof makes it real. Testimonials. Now, if you don't have testimonials, trying to get testimonials, a quick way to do that is find somebody you just done some services for and do like a customer check-in. You don't call them up and say, look, I need a testimonial. You say, look, I have a I'm just checking in to make sure the services that we offered you is doing what it's supposed to do. Man, people love that. Oh, okay, they'll talk to you all day because you make it about them. But if you call up and say, look, hey, I got this client I'm trying to get, I need some testimonials, man, they're going to find all kind of excuses. Oh, well, I'll call you back. I got to go pick up the baby from the babysitter. Got this phone call I got to jump on. A little inside information. Make it about them. Let's see. Next thing I want you to do is understand, make the next step easy. So you provided all this information, how you're going to eliminate the pain. You have the solution. Now what? You got to now show them what to do next. Do we need to have another meeting? You need to fill out this form. You need to come by my office. You make a payment. Show them the steps. Lay it out. 1, 2, 3. So, good morning, brother Thomas. Attorney Thomas over there joining us this morning. Good brother. All right, let's see here. He said blue face with a white shirt. Sounds like an interesting color combination. Okay. Not sure what you alluding to there, brother. Break it down for me. Break it down. So let me give you some examples here on how to make this selling thing work. You don't sell the website. You sell visibility, you sell credibility, you sell lost leads. If you don't get a website, that's how you sell it. You don't say, look, hey, I'm doing websites, I do good work. Yeah, right, but how are you going to solve my problem? You don't sell bookkeeping. You sell compliance. You sell clarity. You sell freedom from financial chaos. So the key is you sell and lead with the problem that you're solving. And the reason I'm jumping on this topic today, because even though I'm an AI certified consultant, I am seeing this repeated cycle that we saw when the internet first came along, when social media first came along, that people jump on these objects, these, I don't want to say shiny objects, but for lack of a better word, and they expect them to be panaceas to solve all of their problems. And they forget, or they kind of steer away from some of the fundamentals. So every now and then I got to go dust these fundamentals back off. The tools change, but the fundamentals do not. So you have AI, BI, EI, EIO. You still have to understand how sales work. The internet didn't change that. Social media didn't change it. And AI is not going to change it. What you do, you take AI and help it compound, it expand it, make you do it faster and better. But you still have to go back to the fundamentals. Okay? Use an attorney. I don't need an attorney. I need to get out of jail if I'm in jail. If I need an IP attorney. I don't need an IP attorney. I need somebody to protect my copyrights. Okay? So you lead with the problem, the solution. So customers aren't lying awake at night wondering, wow, there's a great product out there. AI services, websites, he's a social media master. No, they want to know, can Gatewood help my company grow? Can he reduce my overhead costs? Can he make my phone ring? And if Gatewood can't do it, they want to go to somebody who can. So they're using AI not because they think that, well, this is going to solve all my problems. They think, well, maybe it can do some of these things that Gatewood can't do. But you still got to understand the basics. So let me give you some, just to kind of make it interesting. So I'm going to try to go through some industries really quickly before I close up to kind of make this tangible. So let's just say you have an advertising agency or you're a marketing person. You don't lead with I provide digital marketing services. The pain point for that customer is that people don't know I exist, okay? So like I said, you might lead with, let me go out here and help you get your first customer. Or let me go out here and help you grow your sales, okay? Let's make it real. We're going to make it, let's not talk in generalities, let's talk specifics for a minute. So if somebody comes to me and they're a nonprofit, they say, well, we're doing great work, but nobody is supporting us. You might lead with, we'll help you increase awareness, donations, and volunteers. Now you speaking a language they can understand. Oh, that's what we need. So you're a law firm, for instance. And this particular law firm might be saying, clients can't find me online. So you might lead with, we'll position your firm so that your clients, position your firm where your clients are searching for services like yours. Or let's just say you're an AI consultant and you're a business owner. So the person might be, well, I'm overwhelmed that I don't have enough staff. That's what they're thinking. Well, you're going to come back and lead with, let AI handle the repetitive task so you can focus on growing your business. I'm trying to make it plain for you today. So I'm going to try to cover some of these industries so this thing can sink in. And like I said, there's different pain points for different segments of your customer base. So if you're an accountant, you're a CPA, this person may have this pain point of, I don't know if I'm making enough money or if I'm making money. And you come back, well, as the accountant, let us show you where your profits are going. So you're the accountant and you're talking to the business owner, okay? Once again, you're the accountant. Like I said, you have different pain points for different segments of your customer base. So if you're an accountant and you're trying to sell your services to a doctor, the doctor may come up with this pain point of, I don't have enough time for bookkeeping. You might come back, we'll handle the numbers so you can focus on the patients. Or if you're an accountant trying to present your services to an attorney, and he's like, I don't want to run into any ethics violations. And you said, well, I'm going to handle your trust accounts to make sure you don't run afoul of the IOLTA compliance violations. So speak their language in a language they understand and their pain points. And this doesn't have to be face-to-face sales. This can be in your literature. Your business card, if you're going after a certain client, you might put that as instead of just plastering your name and logo all over the place, that might be the lead heading on your business card. That probably you handle for the majority of your clients. So anyway, as I said, today I thought we'd go back to school on some basics. If you're in sales, most of us are in sales. If we are business owners, sometimes we start a company. We say, look, I'm going to start this business so I don't have to do any more selling. Hello. Hate to break it to you. When you start a company, you are a salesperson. That's your biggest hat you're wearing. I don't mean get out here on the pavement with a sandwich sign on. I'm just saying, you know your sales, you know your business better than anyone else, particularly if you're talking about business to business relationships, landing that big client. You cannot hand that off to somebody who barely knows your business. So these things I'm saying need to be embedded in your DNA if you're a business owner. Okay, you're a web designer. Somebody's look, my website is not getting me any customers. You come back and say, look, let me turn that website into a 24-hour sales machine. Oh, you can do that? Let's talk. All right. I'm going to wrap this up, but I felt compelled to do this morning. I was going to do a rerun, but because I was in this, I found myself in this dealing with this exact thing that I'm talking about this week. I keep telling folks I'm not looking for clients. Except the more I tell them that, the more they knock on my door. And then I say to myself, okay, well, look, I'm not going to turn away everybody. If I can get the perfect fit that fits into my available time, my peace of mind I'm looking for these days, certain clients I always have room for. People like brother Bradley Thomas over there. I could be on a walker with IVs in my arm. But as long as we can work it out, then I'm going to continue to serve people like him. And I see what you mean, that brother Thomas. He said I could talk to them blue in the face. That would be a sight. That would be a sight. Sometimes I feel like I get to talking. Like last night, I was talking to these students over at college. I think I turned a little blue. I was talking. It was a lively bunch. We were talking about social media and content, and we talked about listening. We talked about did a lot of talking last night, and this is what I do now. So when I tell people I'm not taking on clients like I used to. I'm focusing on things like what I'm doing today, getting out good information, teaching at the college, consulting, working with people who still want to succeed, but I'm not a mass media. I'm more like a boutique type of service. You can find out more about my company by going to gatewoodmarketing.com, by the way. You'll see the services that we offer. We have a few AI tools. Go to Gatewood AI, and we have some free AI tools for business owners. Gatewood.ai. I put this together just for people like you who are trying to see what AI can do for a business owner without spending money. Some of these tools that I created are the same kind of tools you might get with ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini and some of the graphic design tools. So go ahead and check it out. It's free for now. Every now and then I go in there and pump a little more money in there to make it free for you. At some point that may not be the case, but I'm on a mission. Not having the money is not a good enough excuse not to engage in marketing. That's like saying I don't have any money, so I can't drink. So I can't afford water. Well, if you have money or not, you're going to find some water. You have to go out there and dig a hole in the ground and create your own well. Same thing with marketing. You can't use that as an excuse. So I understand that money can be an issue for some people. Some people need to be convinced that marketing is necessary. That's why I do it at the college. That's why I offer this podcast. That's why I offer free tools on my website. I do consulting, free services. I'm part of the Bowie Bick. They call it. They have they offer free consultation services for. They call it Open Door. Go to BowieBick.com. They offer free services, and I'm a consultant for them. The Women's Business Center. So a lot of these services I'm out here, I just try to plug in to make sure that we stay caught up. I hate to admit that the government is letting us down. They're cutting services that should be helping small business owners. So somebody's got to pick up that slack. I'm going to do it as long as I can, as long as my coins allow me to. And you can support me by tuning into this show and sharing it with others, letting others know that there is services out here. I was really particularly moved last year when we found out that 300,000 Black women were really exited the workforce, many of them involuntarily. And so when I hear those kind of stories, it's hard not to act. So here I am today. As long as I have a breath in me, I'm going to be beating this drum and shamming these bells and make sure that we have businesses in our community that can support and hire the people in our community, whether they're young people for the summer, some of our seniors in their golden years looking for work, and then full-time people during the day. But we have to build the businesses first. And to do that, we have to understand marketing, sales, and things like that. And therein lies my purpose, my reason for being, my raison d'etre. Also, if you're in the DC area, go and register for the First Friday, sponsored by BLE Executive Suites, one of our clients and sponsors. They have 3 locations in the DC area: Largo, National Harbor, and College Park. I'll be there this couple of weeks from now, and I'll be there with Miss Candace Camille. She's going to be our presenter talking about health. You got to take care of your health too. Too many of my clients have left here. So I'm not sure anything we're going to say or do is going to shorten that, but I know that if you eat right, you get the rest you need, drink water, hydrate, cut down on some of the stress, you increase your odds and your likelihood you're going to be around to fulfill this business mission you set yourself out on. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for supporters of the show. Check out Brother Bradley Thomas on his podcast on Thursdays at 12 o'clock. And if anybody else wants to come on and pump their show or become a guest, just send me an email. Go to marketingpulpit.com or Gatewood Marketing. I'm always looking for good guests to bring in to help enlighten our audience in certain areas pertaining to business. And as always, as we close the show, I like to say, if you want to be successful, you have to do these 3 things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk, let's get to work.
I'm really starting to wonder if I have a proper work-life balance.
Why do you think that?
I'm not sure. I just have a feeling.
Why don't you ask your mom what she thinks? She probably knows you better than anyone else.
I'm not sure she's the one to ask. She's still a little salty about that copy machine I gave her for her birthday.
Hello, I need help. My husband was showing me his new gun and I think I accidentally shot him dead.
Calm down, ma'am. First, we have to make sure that he's dead.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, what now?